Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No. Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How was everyone's Memorial Day weekend? Have a good time?
Mine was great too.
Yeah. Would you want to elaborate?
Yeah, just like we got some time.
We got some time. So I went over to Erica's. I kind of invited myself over and had a really lovely time. She's such a good hostess. Thank you for having me. And then I went to Nederland, which is a mining town, with the dogs, did a little hiking, and also went to a pool and had a popsicle. So lots of fun, like cliches.
That's great. Look.
Wow.
Jeff.
Dude, nobody even breathed.
I know. It's like,
there was not even a breath of oxygen.
Or blinking, like no one blinked. I just shut my room
Jordan,
down.
what did you do on this fun weekend? I ate a popsicle.
No, it was at the pool. I
the
looked
popsicle
cute.
froze me for a second. I didn't know what
I thought we had the visuals. We don't.
No
have
visuals.
that.
No visuals. Al, what did you do?
We can envision a popsicle.
Pick us up.
But yeah, I mean, I had a good time. I'm trying
For the
to
people who are
conceptualize
confused.
this popsicle for you guys. Picture, if you will.
All right.
A stick and then a popsicle.
Well, you know, I saw one of my favorite people on the planet. My favorite nephew got married to the love of his life. I remember when he was born, and now that he's married, it feels like I'm lying when the words are coming out of my mouth to see the man that he's developed into. He's a teacher, a public school teacher in Arizona. Shout out to our teachers.
Wow.
And it was also like a great reason to get everybody from my family, because it took place in Ohio, to come together for the first time realistically ever, because my mother's found daughter was there, my mother's adopted daughter was there, and I was there. So it was the first time that my mom got a chance to get a picture with all of her kids and all of her grandkids. So it just...
That sounds better than a popsicle.
I don't know, that popsicle.
No, that's amazing,
yeah,
Al.
It was a great weekend.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, I just chilled at the house and waited for Tori to come over.
Yes, with her popsicle.
It was such good food.
With her popsicle. No, my husband was really excited to grill out. Like, this is the first year that we have our backyard done, so we've been like really just staying at home as much as possible.
Yeah.
So we did that, and that was pretty much the gist of the weekend. So what about you, Jeff?
Kind of following those footsteps. No popsicle, no Tory.
man.
But the pool opened up in our neighborhood for the kids, and my kids are 6 and 4, so they loved it. We were at the pool all weekend, and then grilling in between that.
Yeah.
So it was just a fun weekend, you know, to kind of do nothing.
Yeah.
That's great. And every parent knows nothing wears the kids out like the pool.
Oh,
they're gone
and
by like
sun.
7 o'clock. You're like, we got the rest of the
And
night.
their dad.
Yes.
I'm a little worn out, to be perfectly honest. All right, great weekend. Let's get to some stories, because many people came out to see Disney's live-action remake of The Little Mermaid this weekend. The film won the box office, taking in $121 million in its opening weekend. But reviews of the film are mixed, with some critics slamming it for lacking creativity and fun. But some people are calling out the film for its message to young girls, including British singer Paloma Faith. She posted this to Instagram saying, quote, "I don't want my kids to think it's okay to give up your entire voice and your powers to love a man. Not what I want to be teaching the next generation of women at all." So is this plot of The Little Mermaid problematic? We are back at work now.
Yes.
We are doing this. Yeah.
Time to rip
no
apart
more
The Little
fun.
Mermaid.
Let's get on The Little Mermaid and
Under
start
the
picketing.
sea. Under the
I
sea.
just find it so crazy that this brand new movie and concept and story, like, what are we talking about? You didn't know that, Paloma? This is news to you? Plus, I mean, you can also look at it like she was sick of living in the sea. She wanted her human legs, and that's what she did. So just like other conduits that everybody has had or taken advantage of, she took advantage of this one to get her some land legs.
Yeah.
There you
What
go.
about doing some things that you don't want to do to get where you want to be?
Yeah, challenge
You got to
yourself.
make sacrifices.
That's
And
right.
isn't it her showing her own agency to make a decision?
Well, yes, and Ursula, yeah, she went out on her own with Flounder and Scuttle and Sebastian helping her. It shows the value of friendships. It shows the value of romance. It shows the value of love. And at the end, Triton, in this case, says you didn't need to lose your voice to find a man. So they make it exquisitely clear in this one that it's not that. It's not what she's doing. So I think it's a little nothing burger.
I think everybody's so worried about this world is changing. What are we teaching our kids? And as I look at TV and you look at the movies that are out, Transformers is out. Batman, Superman, The Flash, all these things. The most popular series on Apple TV is The Mandalorian, about the dude that didn't talk from Star Wars. All the same stuff is still out. It's just now all older people have access to the internet and a lot of free time, and they're like, I don't know what Luke Skywalker's motivations were. It's like sometimes a story
That's C-3PO.
is just a story.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, but hey, we have a job because of people like Paloma.
Yes.
That's true. And I will say for the fun part, I miss the animation because I grew up in the 90s and that's what it was. And this is the live action when they make it so natural. I miss the color of the animation. So I could see that.
Yeah, well, speaking of singing, singer Jules is getting mixed reactions over her rendition of the national anthem at the Indy 500 this weekend. Let's take a listen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Lots of people online. We're obviously quick to criticize. One person named Paloma wrote, "For the love of," I'm just kidding. For the love of God, or just sing the national anthem. It's meant to be sung. Don't put your own spin on it. Ooh. I think I read that wrong, but I was also.
We get the point.
I was also referring to they don't even have an American flag in their headline.
Yeah.
Concerned
There.
Canadian.
Yeah, so, all right, save it. Another person said Jewel butchered the national anthem. People were trying to sing along but couldn't because of the way she sang it. Outrage.
People were trying to sing along. Nobody asked to hear those people sing. They asked to hear Jewel. That's the reason why she was singing it. Also, I didn't hear one missing note.
Yeah, I know.
That was on. Yes, did it sound different? Of course it sounded different because she put her spin on it. Maybe she was saving us all from hearing some of the people who were so disappointed about not being able to sing along.
Yeah, and
Hashtag Roseanne
you know who
Barr.
else puts their own spin on it? I go to a lot of baseball games. My girl works for the baseball team here. It's like sometimes they'll have somebody play the sax.
Right.
Sometimes
Jimi
they'll-
Hendrix.
Matter of fact, the last time America the Beautiful was done by an organ, did they butcher it? Was I unable to sing along? Was I unable to follow the plot of what song was being played? I've managed to make it through that 7th inning stretch, and I'm here to tell you guys, as a survivor, it's okay.
Are you okay though?
It's okay,
Are you okay?
guys. If something
Are
is
you
a
okay?
little bit different,
You're okay.
If the Little Mermaid's a little different,
Yeah.
It's
all
okay.
right. Please.
Yeah.
We're all going to live.
That's right.
I think the important thing, too, is also just to, I know this is kind of nerdy, but Francis Scott Key, imagine writing that poem while you're watching the flag billowing in the sky while bombs are burning, and you're writing it in the dawn's early light. It kind of sounds like that hauntingly quiet version.
Yeah, I agree.
Were you sleeping?
No. I think he was about to, so he had to take a swig of coffee.
But you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be like, oh, he wrote it as a poem. It's a quiet moment of seeing that we survived through the bombs bombarding us all night. I liked it.
Well, we've seen this a lot with Macy Gray, Erica.
Or
You know,
bursting,
I think
bursting
if
in
you-
air, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just, if you hired anybody, whether it's, whether it's Prince, wouldn't you expect a little electric guitar? Do we want Prince to just do like an old school rendition? We hired Prince because we're like, oh my goodness, Prince is about to do his version, right?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, and I'm so sorry that people do.
No.
Actually, I'm not sorry. This is just crazy to me.
You know what's funny with like living in this AI universe now? If you plugged in Jewel National Anthem, I bet you'd come out similar to this.
Exactly.
Rather than the regular version, right?
Exactly.
Like if Biggie sang it, it'd be Biggie's twist, even though that'd be weird. But I would still like to hear his
I would
rendition.
still be down.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be
get some
down. So I
people
think that's weird. I don't know. Have some drink. Don't people drink
Relax,
anymore?
guys.
some drink.
Any drink.
Come on up on
All
DBL.
the
Have a
drinks.
Paloma.
Yeah.
What's in a Paloma?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Our
Grapefruit.
interview with actress and singer
Tequila?
Vanessa Williams. She's telling us all about being a judge on the drag competition Queen of the Universe. And Succession fans are talking about the series finale, which has us thinking, what are the best finales of all time?
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now.
One's good, one's bad.
We're live. You can
Is that
say
okay?
one's good,
Okay,
one's
cool.
bad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't
you guys-
talk about it now.
Don't talk about it. I'm not.
No, because, never mind. Usually you go into
I
what we're
know,
going to talk
I'm
about
aware.
next, and then
We
you
don't
have
have
nothing to say for the show. Yeah.
True.
I'll tell you, I went to when I was in Ohio, I went to a Red Robin.
Worst.
Walked in and there was a
Red
couple.
Robin?
Yes. My kids,
Red
first of all,
Robin.
Red Robin, your kids will love the milkshakes we walked in. And there were 2 DBL fans sitting there. And it's weird because I didn't have glasses, no suit or anything. They were like, oh, we watch you every day. They were like, why are you here? Shouldn't you be on the TV? And it was really cool. Like, the more and more places I go, not only do people watch the show, but they watch it every day, you know, and except when Tori's on. And they...
By the way, speaking of drinking, Tori's like... Whenever you tell a story about like elevating your personality or anything in life, Tori gets mad about it. Tori gets mad when I get a haircut.
Yeah,
She gets mad when I get a haircut.
I think it's annoying when he like looks fresh. I don't like that.
See, I like your hair today.
My hair?
I was going to say, this.
Really?
Yes, I like this look.
Heather, Al likes it. Yay,
Yes, it's very
thank
like...
you.
It's a very like cool, like, you're going to a fancy dinner after you were on the beach all day.
Okay, watch. Oh, you guys know the nap you have after you've been at the beach and you're suntan and a little burnt and you sleep and then you get ready for dinner with your family, and that's the best nap.
No, you know, that's the nap where you wake up and you should have been at dinner an hour and a half ago and there's 11 missed texts saying
bad.
your grandmother's really disappointed you missed this.
That's
And
really bad.
No, because you
That's
cannot.
how those dinners go.
You cannot plan anything after a beach day.
Beach
There-
naps are the
Everyone's
best.
it's in theory, but
just
you're
smell
gonna be
like
so tired.
salt.
That's called room service.
Oh, it's a delicious.
Welcome back. So the hit show Succession came to an end on Sunday, and we finally learned the fate of the Roy children. So spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the finale, like this guy, because it was a long weekend, and I don't think we should be doing this.
You had time.
But cover your ears, okay? So in a twist, I feel terrible saying this. Logan Roy's son-in-law, or Tom, I should say, Logan Roy's son-in-law, swooped in and became the American CEO of the family business, which ended up being sold. Many fans were pleased with the finale, even though none of the Logan 3 children came out on top. That's it. It's ruined. I don't even need to watch it anymore. My favorite show.
You still need to watch it.
No, it's over now. All right, so that got us talking about some other season finales that left fans divided. Some fans hated when Dexter wrapped things up by having the lead character retreat to a lumberyard in Oregon. And then the ending of The Sopranos, of course, is still debated after the audience finds Tony and his family sharing onion rings. I didn't know they were having onion rings, and then it just cuts to black. That's a good trivia question. What were they eating?
That is a good
Onion
That
rings.
is good.
All right. But Game of Thrones takes the cake for the most polarizing series finale of all. If I had to pick, they really dropped the ball with this one. Remember that last season, how anticipated it was?
Yeah.
And it
The
just
coffee cup.
kind of...
That whole season 8 just seemed like a check cleared season.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know,
A ranch house in Montana.
Do you
kind
have
of
a
season.
favorite, or you are aficionado?
I do. I disliked intensely Lost. I loved all of it until the end when they promised us it wasn't going to be that they were all dead, and it turns out they were all dead. Spoiler alert, they're in purgatory. It was so lame, and I invested. I was in a club. I was on a forum. Like, I cared about Lost a lot.
But that's not lame.
Fair. And then the one I really loved was Breaking Bad. I thought that ended really beautifully. I thought it had a nice arc, and I thought it ended when it should, just like Succession, which I thought was a great ending.
Well, for me, and I feel terrible saying this because the series brought so much to my life and really explained a lot of the world to me, but The Wire, I didn't like the last season. It got into like the newspaper business, and it just, I really didn't. I love season 4.
Great show, though.
It's incredible, and it doesn't take away from the show at all for me, but season 5, it just kind of,
Not good.
It lost it for me a little bit. What about you, Kabi?
I haven't watched any of these shows.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Don't
Wait,
watch
the ones that we
Lost.
mentioned?
Yeah.
You didn't watch The Sopranos?
I didn't. I watched, I think, in the beginning, and then I think I watched the finale, but I wasn't like necessarily following the whole time.
And Breaking Bad you weren't into?
I never got into Breaking Bad.
And The Wire?
Never got into Lost.
That is.
Never got into
Don't get into Lost. You'll get
Yeah.
lost. You know what I'm saying?
But I was into Succession.
Okay.
And my sister was over, and we were like just yelling like the whole time, like, no, like, and she's like walking around with her hands, like just going back and forth, and
That's
I'm
how you
like,
want it.
they're still billionaires. And it's like, down with the Nepo babies. Like, it was just like
Wow.
crazy.
I wish
Yeah.
I had that experience. Unfortunately, it was
Sorry.
ruined.
You had
today's
4
show.
days. You had 4
It was a
nights.
holiday weekend.
Right, that means you can
No,
watch it at
there's
night.
rules, and this was broken. Coming up on DBL, we're talking with the fabulous Vanessa Williams about being a judge on Queen of the Universe.
There is nothing I like better than finding a great deal on travel. And it turns out I'm not alone. Verify viewer Catherine emailed us to ask, is there a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket? So Catherine, let's verify. Our sources are Scott's Cheap Flights, a study by cheapair.com, and Brett Snyder, president of Cranky Concierge Travel Assistance and a former airline pricing analyst. Some studies suggest Tuesday or Saturdays are the cheapest days to buy tickets, but all of our sources say they usually rely on flawed or outdated data. For example, some articles suggest that weekends are the cheapest days to buy. Snyder points out that's based on data that tracks the average amount spent on a ticket each day of the week. Families tend to buy their tickets on weekends and usually purchase less expensive tickets. Meanwhile, business travelers tend to buy their tickets during the week, and many are less price sensitive.
A lot of the business travel, premium cabin or even last minute or whatever it might be, those tend to be higher fares.
The end result is a study that has skewed data. Similar articles suggest Tuesdays offer the best deals, but our sources say that's also not the case. Scott's Cheap Flights explains on its site that this idea is a holdover from the 1990s when airlines used to upload special e-fares on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. These days, Snyder says airlines use sophisticated algorithms to consistently adjust fares based on demand, regardless of what day of the week it is.
This hasn't existed for years. I couldn't tell you the last time when those actually were out there in the market.
So we can verify, no, there is not a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket. So when should you book? Cheapair.com found domestic tickets are generally cheapest 3 to 15 weeks before departure. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Let the drag extravaganza begin!
The Queen of the Universe.
The world's first ever vocal drag competition is bigger than ever. It's an all-new season of Queen of the Universe.
Time to spice up the competition. Are you ready for your life to change?
I am. Welcome back to DBL. That was a clip from season 2 of Queen of the Universe. And earlier we spoke with one of its judges, the multi-talented Vanessa Williams. She's cute too. Take a look.
Oh my goodness, she is a Tony, Grammy, and Emmy nominated actress and singer. Please welcome to DBL, Vanessa Williams.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Vanessa, let's jump right in. You look beautiful. I have to point that out. I'm a little nervous. Let's talk about Queen of the Universe. Not you, the show. The costumes, makeup, and dancing are over the top. So what is the craziest thing to happen backstage so far?
So Queen of the Universe, this is season 2 on Paramount Plus, and it is a drag queen singing competition that is live. So there is no lip syncing. This is all live singing. The drag is out of this world. There are some costumes and some bodies and some faces that are incredible. And there's also some heartwarming moments. There's a couple of moments where you'll see family members get a chance to interact with the queens that are in competition. And it shows the humanity and the acceptance and the support that is behind the scenes for this spectacular moment. It's great to be a judge. I get a chance to sit back and watch all the festivities.
Yes, we live for fabulous queens, yourself included. Now, but this is a global show. But are other countries more accepting of drag than America? And where does our country rank in the world of acceptance when it comes to drag?
Good question.
Good question. There are some that are more severe, that especially we've heard on our when we did season 1, there was a queen from India, and she said, it is a danger in my country to do what I love to do. So that was a heartbreaking story. And then there's also ones that are celebrated. We've got one queen from Australia, and it is an art form that has been celebrated for years, and it is wonderful. So in terms of where we are as a country, yeah, we've got some issues right now. Letting our drag be an art form. It is an art form. It is not predatory. These are queens that have made a life and career out of transformation and bringing joy.
I love that you said that, because I was going to follow up and ask why America needs this type of show right now. And I think you absolutely said it all, because it's also about the safety of our performers and how much we, some of us, everyone on this panel, wants to protect that. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And it's showbiz. They're singing their hearts out. They're wearing amazing clothing, doing incredible choreography with dancers around them, and it's for production value. We're putting on a show so the whole family can enjoy it.
All right, well, let's stay on the track of showbiz. Now, we read that there's a limited series about your Miss America scandal that's possibly in the works. First of all, is that true? And what is the biggest misconception about your story?
Well, the idea is true. We are getting the team together. So there's, I don't have a release date, but it is in motion. Probably the biggest misconception, I think, is that, I was a musical theater major before I became famous. And what beauty queen labels tend to do is negate any kind of talent you have or intellect. So it took me longer to actually show who I was when people would accept me than normally if I had just graduated from university, went to graduate school, went to Broadway. There would have been none of the skepticism that I had to barrel through, which took a long, long time.
That is powerful.
I think you showed them.
I think so too. Yes.
Well done.
DBL Nation, season 2 of Queen of the Universe premieres June 2nd on Paramount Plus. Vanessa, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Congratulations on everything. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Sunshine on a cloudy day sure sounds nice, but might not feel so great. Let's verify. Are UV rays stronger on cloudy days? We checked with several sources and found out the answer depends on some specific cloud conditions. A dark day will, of course, block out some sunshine, but our research all concludes many of those skin-damaging rays can still filter through.
Around 80% of the sun rays can penetrate through the clouds.
And some clouds could be worse than none at all. We looked at several studies showing a phenomenon, sometimes called the broken cloud effect, can actually cause the sun's light to reflect and bounce around more intensely. The University of Washington cites research showing UV rays enhanced by 25% on a partly cloudy day compared to a sunny day. If it's a cloudy day on the water, even more reason to lather up. According to the National Council on Skin Cancer Prevention, light bouncing off water and sand can effectively double UV exposure. But the reason for your cloudy day sunburn might be less meteorological and more mental. As in, experts say people often aren't thinking of applying or reapplying sunscreen when they aren't feeling bright, direct rays. Windy days can also cool the skin, and the Skin Cancer Foundation warns can make you more likely to blow off sunscreen.
You're still getting sun exposure and sun damage.
With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Pool season is right around the corner, and as parents are getting their kids ready to splash in the pool, we wanted to know, are brighter colored swimsuits easier to spot if your kid goes underwater? Let's verify. Our source is a watercolor study from Alive Solutions and Allie Gaines with Charlotte Aquatics. According to Alive Solutions, bright and contrasting colors are easier to see underwater. This is important because if your kid goes underwater for a long period of time, you'll want to easily spot them. The Alive Solutions color test shows some examples. In this series of photos, fabric colors such as bright reds, pinks, blues, and greens show up better when compared to fabrics such as light blue, light gray, black, and white. As you can see, the colors white and light blue basically disappear when underwater. Gaines says drownings are so prevalent in children under the age of 4. She confirms kids should be wearing brightly colored swimsuits.
Neon colors are much better. They're easier to spot in the water.
Gaines says while picking out the perfect swimsuit color is important for parents, it's only a secondary measure for preventing accidents in pools.
If you're not actually watching the water, if you're not actually watching your kids, it's really not going to do very good.
Gaines also suggests putting your kids in swim lessons at an early age to help get them used to being around the water.
So swim lessons are always going to be your number one way to keep your kids safe around the water, a best way to prevent drowning. Formal swim lessons actually reduce the risk of drowning by 88%.
So we can verify that yes, brighter colored swimsuits are easier to spot if your kid goes underwater. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Welcome back. We've got some amazing products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hi Tori, hey DBL Nation. I am so excited to show off the deals today. As ever, they're fabulous. Get ready to shop because you're going to fall in love with this. First up today, we've got the Adagio Air Straightening Brush. So this deal includes one straightening brush that will simplify your hair routine. This hair tool will dry and style your hair at the same time. It has 3 temperature settings and 2 speed settings to work for all hair types. So normally this is $300. Ooh. You're not going to believe this price. We've got it for just $33.99. So that's saving 89%.
What?
Next up today, we've got the Conair Sonic Vibration Facial Cleansing Device. Nice. So this doorbuster deal includes 1 brush base and charging stand and 2 facial brushes. Normally this is $80, but we've got it for just $10. So that's saving you guys 88%. Now, if you're always in the kitchen, which I'm definitely not, but it's going to make me look like I am, we've got the Ginsu Kiso 6-piece steak knife set.
Look at that.
So this deal includes 6 steak knives available in black or purple.
Whoa.
So normally this is $25, Tori.
Oh, okay.
So we have got this 6-piece set for just $12.99. So that is saving 48%. Now, our last product today is the Truman's Gentleman's Groomer's 4-piece hair care kit. This deal includes 2 men's hair styling control pastes and 2 moisturizing shampoos. This is $88.
Oh, I was wondering. I'm like, I bet this is pricey.
We've got it for just $24.99.
Never mind.
So that's saving up to 72%.
Head on over to morningsaves.com to snag all these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or as you know, you can scan the QR code right on screen. It will take you directly to these products right on Morning Save's website. Couldn't be easier. Thank you so much, Steph.
Bobby may or may not have left one of those hair pastes for me on my desk.
Really?
So I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Very
It's very
nice.
exciting. It smells delicious.
Coconut or vanilla?
Don't eat it.
Got it.
It's just for the hair. We'll see you tomorrow.